Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, and this time we're reviewing on Powerpuff Girls 1998 TV series review. Now, growing up as a kid, I used to watch the Powerpuff Girls. The series was pretty amazing. Now, the premise of the series is about Professor Utonium, who adds sugar, spice, everything nice, and an extra dose of Chemical X, and ends up creating three perfect little girls with superpowers. Now, each of them have a perfect trait. Blossom is the leader of the group, and also not completely obsessive over everything like in the 2016 one. Buttercup is more of the tomboy, and unlike the 2016 one, doesn't cause that much damage like the original. Bubbles is the more sweet and adorable type, and not the one that has a dark side like the original, the 2016 one. Now, the series was done by creator Craig McCracken, the same guy who worked on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Now, in this one, the Powerpuff Girls act like responsible superheroes and pretty much have to deal with dangerous threats and saving the day. Now, this is better than the 2016 one, because in this one, Blossom isn't obsessive, Bubbles is more knowing of her abilities, and Buttercup even has moments where she does show a softer side. And what's also interesting as well is that the show parodies on certain things, such as superheroism. Even they joke about being the only female superheroes in their own right, even though there's tons in DC Comics and Marvel. Now, what's also interesting about the original was that the episodes had certain morals for the girls, like Blossom when she steals a birthday gift for Professor Utonium. The moral of that story is don't steal something you can't afford, otherwise it will come to bite you in the ass. Buttercup one, when she steals people's teeth to get more money, is don't let your greed take over, otherwise bad things will happen to you. Bubbles is moral about mainly about such as taking in too many animals. The moral of that story is don't take too many animals into your house because there's not enough room for them. What's also great about the series as well is that we pretty much had Miss Bellum in the original series as the mother figure to these girls. You think about it, she was technically their responsibility, and she helps them out in many other situations. Like, for example, when a female villain called Femme Fatale manipulated the girls and duped them into thinking that the men don't rely on them too much. This causes Miss Bellum to point out that there is injustice in the world, and that's why they have the girls to make sure things are right. And what's also good about the original was that the girls went to preschool, where pretty much Miss Keene acted more like a mother figure as well. For example, when the Green Gang showed up at school, she knew deep down that they were a threat, and wanted the girls to take care of things. What's also interesting about the original as well is that definitely how the villains are always set up. Princess Morbox wants to be a Powerpuff Girl and wants to join the team. Well, in the 2016 one, she tries to kill them and wants to be the only Powerpuff Girl, showing she has no consideration for hurting people and wants to hurt them. Him is almost the same as the 2016 one, but there are moments where the character is pretty dark, where in the future, where the girls end up going for a time warp, they end up causing more damage, and him mentions he took over, which was easy. Which also great about the original, sometimes the episodes do get darker. For example, like the episode Knock It Off, where pretty much Dick Hardley manipulates the girls and into creating clones. This reminds me a lot of the Clone Saga from Spider-Man. Now, also, unlike the 2016 one, the girls do cause property damage, but they always get the consequences of their actions for it. And even Blossom berates Buttercup for most of it, and sometimes they all get berated for it. Well, in the 2016 one, it seems they cause more damage than the monsters do, and they don't see any consequence in their actions. If you ever watched the 2016 one, where Professor Utonium's girlfriend turns out to be a spider creature, they seem to cause more damage than the monster, and have no guilt over doing it, and the episode made no sense. Now, what's also great about Powerpuff Girls 1998 was that definitely how there were 6 seasons created, and each of the episodes were perfect. Even though Craig McCracken was also given was asked if he wanted to do a 7th season, he said, "I don't want to do another one. I've done what I needed to do." And there was even a movie based on this, which was more of a prequel, and there were toy lines, video games, and so on. Now, what's also great about the original as well is definitely how the mayor relies on Miss Bellum and knows that he can't handle a situation without her. Well, in the 2016 one, it seems like, say, screw that, I'm going to become the more important mayor. What's also great about the original as well, each of the villains do get morals themselves, and it proves that the series does do well. So in general, what do I think of Powerpuff Girls? The original series is definitely great, and I recommend you giving it a go. But my only real issues with the 2016 one is definitely how, in the original, we know their origin. Sugar, spice, everything nice, and dose of chemical X. Well, in the 2016 one, Professor Utonium creates the girls, but no origin is given about that. So, if kids in the newer generation watch the 2016 one, this is going to bring some confusion. This is why I prefer watching the original. In general, this deserves a good thumbs up. So, this is my review. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.